Welcome to the project Programming a God. Today we will be solving the high buildings problem from Google KickStart Round E 2020. Let's look at its problem statement first. This is the problem statement. There are a certain number of buildings at some place. There are two friends named Andre and Sule. Andre goes to the leftmost building and looks towards right, and Sule goes to the rightmost building and looks towards left. Andre can see a number of buildings and Sule can see b number of buildings. Also, there are c buildings which are visible to both. A building is visible to Andre if there is no building which is greater to the left side of it. Sule can see a building if there is no building which is greater to the right side of it. We are provided with the total number of buildings n. Number of buildings visible to Andre a. Number of buildings visible to Sule b, and number of common buildings c. We have to find out possible heights of all buildings such that they satisfy the information provided. If it does not satisfy, then print impossible. The constraints are as shown. Note that buildings with the same height are visible. Consider this example where total buildings are 4. Number of buildings Andre sees is 1. Number of buildings Sule sees is 3, and common buildings are 1. So, here are 4 buildings. Consider this as the position of Andre. Consider this the position of Sule. Now let's place the buildings. Building 1, Building 2, Building 3 and Building 4. Andre can only see one building, that is the building with height 4. Sule can see 3 buildings that are with height 2, 3 and 4. The buildings with height 4 is common. This matches with the input provided. So our answer is 4, 1, 3 and 2. This problem is a constructive type problem. We must find solution as we go by identifying different cases that might be possible. Let's see the list of possible cases. Case 1, Case 2, Case 3, Case 4, Case 5, Case 6, Case 7, Case 8, Case 9, Case 10. We will see this case separately, so don't worry about them. First, let's check the most simple case. If the number of buildings that Andre sees plus the number of buildings that Sule sees minus the common buildings is greater than the total buildings, then the solution is not possible. In this case, the information provided is wrong and we return impossible. If it's not the first case, then we can move ahead. Now comes the real deal. Case 1, common buildings are more than 1. Consider two heights such that Q is greater than P and less than N. First, let's place the common buildings in the center with height Q. There are C number of such buildings. Now place the buildings that are visible only to Andre on the left side with height P. The number of these buildings will be A minus common buildings. So the buildings visible to Andre are buildings with height Q and height P on left side. Do the same for the buildings visible to Sule but on the right side. So the buildings visible to Sule are buildings with height Q and height P on the right side. Now for the buildings that are hidden and not visible to anyone, use the space between Q buildings. These buildings have height less than Q and will remain hidden. This completes our solution for all cases when C is greater than 1. Now the case when there is only one common building. This case can be further divided into 2 parts. Case 1, when A plus B minus C is equal to N. This case is very similar to the last case. In this we don't need to hide any buildings. So place the common building in middle. Now place the buildings that Andre can see on the left and the buildings that Sule can see on the right. The building visible to Andre appear on left and Q. The building visible to Sule appear on right and Q. This completes our first subcase. Second subcase for when we only have one common building. This case is divided further. If A plus B minus C is less than N, then we have two more cases. First case. When A is equal to 1 and B is greater than 1. Consider three heights P, Q and R as shown. There is only one building visible to Andre and it's also the common building. So first place the common building with height Q, then place the hidden buildings that are not visible to anyone with height R. Now place the buildings that are visible to Sule with height P. So Andre can only see building with height Q and Sule can see building with height Q and P. This completes our A equal to 1 case. Now the case when B equal to 1 and A is greater than 1. In this case, there is only one building visible to Sule and it's the common building. So we do the same thing as in last case. First comes the common building with height Q. Now the hidden buildings with height R. Then comes the buildings visible to Andre with height P. This completes a current case. We have one more case to consider. This is the last possible case. In this case, both Andre and Sule can see only one building and it's the common building. There is no way that two buildings are placed such that there is only one of them common. So our answer will be impossible. Try to code the solution for this using these cases and then match it with ours. Next, we have provided you with the C++ code for this problem. Please subscribe to support the channel.